Hey everybody, it's Tuesday night again, and it's time for Grumpy Acres Weekly Homestead Update and Chat. Should we say hi to everybody?
Sure.
Should we say hi to everybody in the
Sure.
in the chat right now?
So if you're gonna do that, can you take that down?
Why?
Whatever.
She wants to see herself on the screen.
No, I don't want to see a big white light in front of me.
So Randy's in the house. Mrs. Hacks is in the house. Let's see here. Jane Ree's in the house. Half Bubble Off Plum, best name on the internet. Evening, everyone. Who else is in here? Gregory Kissel's in here. Bobby, what's up? Let's see here. Grateful Hearts. Rosie. Who else? Starla's in here. Man, we got a lot of people in here tonight.
Nice.
Well, listen, guys. Grab some coffee, some wine, your favorite adult beverage, whatever. Just sit back and let's just have a nice relaxing evening and talk about what's going on around the homestead. So here's the deal. I wanted to make sure that this live was more structured than in the past couple of weeks. And so I made a checklist of what we need to talk about and how we need to talk about it. And Angela's not liking it apparently because
it's causing a glare, but I'm not quite sure it's that. It may be that.
Well, here, okay, hang on a second, guys.
Like turn
Say
that
hi to
off.
Mississippi Homestead.
Like something is like right in the corner of my eye and it's giving me a headache. That's better.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it was the reflection off the window.
The mood lighting.
Yeah,
The mood lighting was getting her.
Ain't no mood.
So tonight we're gonna talk about what's going on around the farm.
And hey, Mississippi Homestead, I was too busy.
And things that are going on out in the world. First of all, I want to say hi to any new subscribers we got. We haven't really got.
Kill.
No. We don't have any new subscribers recently, but we're gonna work on that. It's been sitting about 5,087 for the past 4 weeks.
Yeah, but it's the fall and it's holidays, so
well that and quite frankly, we haven't been
busy.
Haven't been doing many other videos than just the weekly things.
That's part of it too.
So here's the question for you guys: are you ready for the cold weather? She's not.
It's coming fast.
Is it?
I just think it's unfair that it's in the 60s and I'm like, do I wear a sweater? I don't know if I need a sweater. Definitely don't need a jacket. Come home and I go, I don't need a sweater. Take the wool off, get into a nice sweatshirt, all comfy and everything else. And then the next day it's like, bam. And now I want back into my wool sweaters. They're not heavy enough, and there's not enough socks in the world to keep my feet warm, and it's just a mess.
Looks like in the chat that nobody's ready for that.
And we got snow coming Saturday.
Actually, it's supposed to be wet. It's supposed to rain.
Well, it turns into snow Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
So just FYI.
So first, let's
with a low of 27.
Here's
your forecast.
Talked about the videos. Kansas. I've got 2 or 3 videos that I need to get done for you. I got some product reviews. I got to do the installation on that water filter that we got. I still haven't done that.
I don't know about that though. Did you read how many gallons that does? Doesn't seem very efficient compared to the Berkey.
Okay, well,
or the Livestraw.
Here's a spoiler. I've been reading up on it. They don't make any money. The filters are extremely inexpensive, and they're very simple. Where they get their money is off of subscriptions. So the filter in a household of 4 is only supposed to last about 3 months, and then you have to buy a new filter.
Okay.
But I'm still gonna install it, and I'm gonna see it's the installation instructions are extremely easy. But we can do it, and we can see, and I don't have to get a subscription to it. Oh, our exciting news is our twins, Leah in Texas and Ben in Tennessee, are coming home Friday for Friday Thanksgiving.
Beautiful.
Excellent.
Hope we get to see them on Saturday.
Excellent. I think they're going home because Darren said that he has to get the kids on the way home.
Oh, so they won't be here then?
No, he's going to try to get it in the afternoon.
Okay.
The windy up here today, 60 mile.
Here
We're
too.
getting about 20 miles an hour. We're supposed to get 30 tomorrow on
It
Friday.
had to have been higher than that. I almost went off the road.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, tonight anyway, on my way home. It wasn't that strong this afternoon. It was windy, but not that strong. But yeah, that my vehicle did not perform well in high wind.
No. So let's talk about what went on around here this week. The birds. We have not gotten any eggs.
The rescue?
Hey, rescue. What's up? We have not gotten any eggs in a month, and it's killing us. And I was talking with the guys at the feed mill, and I think it's got something to do. Number one, they're stressed out because we still have too many roosters, and then we've actually got more guineas and turkeys than we do chickens, and they're all cohabitating. So I got to get another coop built. But I think part of the problem is the fact that there for a little while we were having to feed them from Tractor Supply.
Mill, yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, now's the time they need to be on crack corn and hog feed.
Mm-hmm.
So they need more protein, heat.
So we got them back on there. The good news with the feed mill and the feeding the animals is that the bulk grain or the bulk feed is open here in town, so I don't have to drive 45 minutes north to get it. I mean, I was literally having to take 2 hours off twice or once every 2 weeks.
Would you go down there today or something?
No, I talked to him. I talked to him up north.
No.
Yeah, they said it's open.
No, I mean about the chickens. I didn't realize you.
Oh no, me and one of the guys were talking. We were just talking while we were waiting.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get that, and I'm gonna invest in a LED light for the coop this winter, and I'm gonna put a light on them, see if we can't get them to start laying eggs.
I think that's a great idea. Since we took them off the light, it's been a nightmare.
Yeah, it really has.
I mean, we tried. I'm not going to do it no more.
And then
we hatched so many out in the spring. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and then I finally got to use the birthing pen. I've used it twice this week because we got some ladies that are in heat, and it drives all the bucks and everybody crazy. So I stuck them in the pen. In fact, Traveler's still out there in the pen. I ought to go out after we're done and let her out so she can get some water and stuff.
What's she doing?
She's in heat, and they're bird dogging her, and I separated her.
Yeah.
I mean, we
gotta watch Lola. She's gonna drop here pretty soon. They're gonna have to be separated.
Oh, it's probably
separate everybody 3 ways.
Yeah, it's probably gonna happen whenever it's snowing and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So Randy, that's true. Beans, I always do pinto beans, black beans, that kind of thing. However, I'm a little stingy with that right now, and I know another way to get them cheaper to get them to produce eggs, and that would be hog feed and crack corn.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do. Hog feed is the fastest thing. If you got chickens that aren't laying, you get them on hog feed, they'll start laying. So that's where I'm going. And with the weather, we need crack corn because that gives them heat. Yep.
And the dogs. Here, hang on a second, guys. Hang on a second. Let me type this in.
What are you doing?
Well, I want to show them what we got for the puppers. If you go to here, let me share this out. Present, share screen.
Showing them all the crap I buy.
Well, this is all. If for anybody that doesn't know, this is all stuff that we either buy or want to buy for the homestead.
I think most of that we own.
So I put a new one on here. You guys can go check it out. Furniture, rural living furniture picks. So this is what we got for the puppers. So we had them in a couple of just regular old plastic kennels. Can you guys see that?
They should be able to.
Oh, where is it? Let's see. Oh no. Oh, hang on. Well, we're having some technical.
You're an IT guy. You have more
I'm an IT,
technical
but
issues than anybody that I know.
I don't give presentations and stuff. There we go. Okay, there we go. Close that window. This is what we got for the puppers. We replaced the stand that the TV was on, and we got them this double kennel. I'm telling you, I love this thing. It took me 4 hours to put it together,
but it was worth it.
It's actually remarkably well made. I would not put a puppy in there, and I would not put a dog that gets overly excited and chews.
No, they should be trained before you put them in there.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, but it looks good. It took me 10 minutes and some treats to teach him to go into the kennels. Freya still has a little bit. She runs into Dolly's side.
Last night she was fine. She goes into Dolly's side to see if Dolly has something better than her, because we're waiting on the kennel pads to come in, and those will be here on Sunday, I think is what it said. And so right now we just put in, like, one's got a moving blanket, the other one has a wool blanket, and so we're jealous of each other's blankets and what's going on. So that's what's happening there.
But the
smell and see who's getting better treatment.
The benefit of it is, like I said, we had Freya in a little wire kennel, and we had Dolly in a little plastic kennel, and they were about 1/3 the size of the kennels on this thing, and they've just got so much more room. They're able to stretch out.
Well, and the nice thing is when the dogs, come to their demise, when that happens, this is a kennel we can keep forever, because it covers up to a 150-pound dog on each side. So that's nice. That's really nice. So you put a Great Dane in there.
I would take the divider out, though.
For a Great Dane?
Yeah, I would take
that's royalty treatment.
But they get...
Russell never got that kind of royalty treatment.
Russell did not get put down when he ate a sofa.
Russell could have fit in one side.
Russell was our fawn Great Dane, and he taught me that the dog actually taught me that furniture is made out of 2x4s because he ate a love seat. He literally ate half of a love seat one time when we were gone, and I was not too terribly happy about that. That and the $200 pair of cowboy boots of our sons he ate.
Well, and he loved Anne Klein. And so all of my leather shoes, nothing was sacred.
Honey, he never ate. The only thing he ate of mine, he ate a pillow of mine one time because he was mad at me.
Because he knew that if he did something like that to you, he was gone.
I'd kill him. Let's see. Garden and orchard.
Okay.
Walnuts. I finally got the walnuts washed. They are in the greenhouse drying. So they will be, in fact, I timed it out.
6 weeks.
They'll be here, or no, I thought it was 3 weeks.
6 weeks. I'll look it up again. I think it's 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, December 15th is 3 weeks.
Okay.
But so those are in there, and I picked about 20 loofah to get them out of the rain. It's been raining so much here recently that they're all soggy and they need to dry out. There's mold on some of them, but I pulled about 20 loofah there and there too, drying out. So we should be able to get quite a few seeds from it. The loofah, how many years have we been growing that strain?
Since
10 years?
20.
No, we're several years.
2015, 2016, somewhere there.
So we've been growing this loofah strain for almost 10 years, over 10 years, I guess, somewhere around there. And if you guys don't know, loofah, we've talked about it before, but I'll just recap it. You can eat the young ones. They're kind of like spicy cucumbers. And when they get older, of course, you get the loofah sponge off of it. And I still want to start milking the goats and making the
I gotta have goat's milk for that. So until you start milking the goats, that ain't gonna happen.
Oh, and I had somebody get a hold of me at work today. They want to buy goat's milk whenever we start milking.
That's fine.
I don't even remember what we used to charge for goat's
$15 a half gallon is what I was getting back then.
Yeah,
But
I don't think
4
we're gonna
years
get that out
ago,
here.
I bet you we do. I bet you we do.
I gave him a number much lower than that, but I told him I had to check with you and make sure, see what it was.
No,
'cause
I
couldn't
guarantee you, I
remember.
could put that up at a feed store, put that ad up at a feed store all day long, and I'll get that.
Yep.
And that was 5 years ago, so I can't imagine it. It's probably about the same now,
Really?
but maybe a little bit more. I'll start checking into it.
So that's the news on the front. My big project this last week is I've been trying to weed the garden and pulling Johnson grass out where the old garden was, because one of my projects this spring is going to be to rid this place of Johnson grass. I'm so sick of that stuff. I hate it. If you guys don't know what Johnson grass is, it grows very quickly, and when it's full maturity, it's about 6 foot tall, and the stalks are about as big as a number 2 pencil.
Is that a little bit like the silvergrass that Billy's battling?
It may be. I'd have to.
I think I remember Hitch saying something about silvergrass.
Well, and if you mow it,
the same.
if you mow it down like the entire year and keep it down so it never goes to seed, it'll die out over the next winter. Because that's how I got rid of it over a lot of the property. But yeah, it's invasive because it puts out rhizomes, and I hate this stuff.
Yeah, Mrs. Hex doesn't give them extra light. Yeah, we tried that, Mrs. Hex. You do you, we'll do us, boo.
Yeah.
I'm tired of that.
Well, so the extra light, the reason, there's reason not to do it, okay? Because
no, Dax is right.
You burn your chickens out quicker. They produce more eggs, and it shortens their productive lifespan. But right now, we're not getting any production. So I need to jumpstart them. I need to get them going so we can at least get some eggs, right? I'm having to dip into the freeze dried eggs that we did this last summer, and it's killing me.
That's funny. It seems like everybody's doing apple pie. Nobody asked for pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
They want apple pie and cheesecake, and so that's what I'm doing. Which I canned a bunch of apple pie, and so apple pie filling, and then I reserve 2 jars back, so I'm only going to do 2 apple pies. There's no reason to do more, and I'm only doing 1 cheesecake. If y'all eat that, you're crap out of luck. Hopefully for Thanksgiving,
for Thursday.
Hopefully somebody brings something else if you need more than that.
And you made how many
Because I don't
gallons?
think any of the officers are coming over for Thanksgiving.
How many gallons of apple pie filling did you make?
Well, that one was 12. I've got a 12-quart pot. And so I ended up with, by the time everything was said and done, 16 quarts is what I ended up with, I believe. 14 or 16 quarts, somewhere in there. And I still have a whole nother bushel of apples to take care of.
Plus, there's still apples out on the tree.
And there's still apples out on the tree.
And Randy's the same boat I am. I love pecan pie. We had to stop at Walmart.
We could have pecans that he had gone and picked the pecans, but he was picking walnuts. So
we stopped at Walmart on the way home from church and
didn't pick up pecans.
They've got the little single pies, the little tiny ones.
And he bought a single.
They're 85 cents now. They used to be 50 cents, but I bought a pecan pie.
They used to be 25 cents.
She said, when did you start liking pecan pies? I've said,
my memory's gone.
I've always loved pecan pies. I've just never asked you to make them.
I made some. At first, I thought I was like, I've never made that before. And then I was like, remembered, yeah, I did. So, I don't know. And then we went over to, what I need to do. Ooh, this is what I need to do. So,
okay, tell us what you need to do.
Sutherland's in the Midwest. You can go to Sutherland's, and while supplies last on Fridays, it's Fruit and Nut Friday. And you can pick up nuts cheap, and you can pick up fruit cheap. Why don't I go? Well, it'll be after Thanksgiving, but I could go get your pecans since you won't pick our pecans and wash those and dry those out there. They wouldn't be ready for Christmas anyway, so it's not a big deal. But I can go get pecans and make you some pecan pies for Christmas.
Okay, I'm down.
How does that sound? You like that?
I was thinking.
I gotta do some Black Friday shopping Friday anyway.
We need to get some different variety nuts so that I can smoke some nuts too.
I got nuts for you to smoke. There's all kinds of stuff up there.
Okay.
I may have to freeze dry them first, but Make
Oh,
sure they didn't go rancid.
Okay.
So if you have nuts that go rancid, and you have a freeze dryer, don't ever throw them out. You can actually freeze dry them and they go back to normal. So then you can do whatever you want with them.
You can also bake them in the oven, can't you?
Well, that's the drying process, but that takes days and days. And so might as well throw them in the freeze dryer. But yes, you could also do them in the oven, just roast them and they'll come back. But so I'm not opposed to that either. If you want to do some of those need to be cycled out anyway, because we have so many nuts on our property, including you and I, that
But I'm the only one that goes and harvests them.
I mean, so like we have an issue this year, and this is part of the problem when you have 2 people on a homestead and you don't have a lot of people that come and do things. Because we've even asked community members, would you like to come and get some apples? We don't want them to go to waste. Would you like to come and get some nuts? That kind of thing. They don't want to be in the cold and wet picking either. And so my issue is the cane balance and getting back to normal. So I can't help him there. So a lot of the farm work since the accident December of last year, it's all been on him. And so I can't do much.
Well, and in the past 4 years, I've said it before, and I'm going to just reiterate it. It's been cleaning up and working on the house and doing non-homesteady stuff. And I'm finally to the point now to where I can actually start doing homestead stuff and harvesting nuts and loofah and building food forests and everything. And the food forest.
We've been building the food forest.
Well, and they're not really food forests. They're more like food islands. And I had to fight the goats and the sheep on them. They tore the fence down on one of them. But I'm slowly making progress. One of the projects for next spring is I'm going to transplant all the blackberries. I'm going to get them out. The area where they're at is you can't mow in there. You can't do anything. So the grass grows up and they're fighting it. I'm going to lay hay down over on the north side of the garden, and I'm going to plant them in there. And there's going to be blackberries, and I'm going to get American Beauty berries and put those down. So all along the northern fence row by the cedar trees is going to be nothing but berries.
So I appreciate that, and I love that. We got to get that Virginia vine out of there. It'll actually, leaving that in there, the one with the red berries on it. If we leave that in there, it will not only choke out the trees, it will also choke out the berries.
I know.
So we've got to eliminate.
I got a lot to do.
Okay. All right.
But
so
again,
we're on the same
page. We're making progress. Yeah. We were talking about it. You need to contact your the state arbor, the tree guys for the state. So both Missouri and Kansas, you can buy rootstock online. It's more expensive now. It's about 17 cents a piece now versus it used to be 10 cents. But we were talking about it. I'm going to buy some trees from the Missouri side. They've got some packages. If you live in Missouri, they've got like a nut package and a pollinator package and a berry package. And it's just 25 trees assorted, like 5 different species each and all that. But it's a really good price. So I'm going to spend about $100 in Missouri, and then Kansas has a good pollinator package.
Right.
That's like 30 some trees for $50. So I'm going to get those, and we're going to start doing that. At the old homestead, I planted 600 trees in 2 years.
You keep going. I just don't want to lose this.
No,
that's not the one I wanted.
Which one do you want?
The Greg's.
That one?
What Susie's doing. Nope, that's not it either. That one. Don't lose it. Keep going.
Oh, I had that up.
No, yeah, but leave it. So
okay, I'm
don't lose it.
I planted 600 trees, and I did the math after a couple of years, and only about 10 to 15% of them survived. I still saved several $100s.
Oh yeah, and the people that bought our farm, they're doing great with everything and just an abundance of all kinds of stuff. So it's working out well for them, and it was a good selling feature too.
Yeah.
But so
right, talk about Susie's recipe.
I would love to have that recipe, Susie. So like with the cheesecake I'm actually gonna do a pumpkin cheesecake. So like I just think Thanksgiving should have some kind of pumpkin in it. nobody wants pumpkin pie, so pumpkin cheesecake. So I'm gonna do that. And but yeah, she's doing a pumpkin pie 200-year-old recipe with molasses.
Yep.
That sounds delicious, actually. So I'd be game for that.
That's cool. Oh, projects. The big project this week. I had to have a plumber come in and he's getting me a quote because I got to replace the water heater. We had a leak that I did not know about. Apparently,
it was leaking.
It's the drain for the AC was backed up. It's backed up, and apparently it's been backed up for a long time because
when we ran it for a month this year.
Yeah, there's no way that could have happened over the course of 1 month. So apparently it's been clogged for a long time. The water got underneath the linoleum and the hot water heater started going through the floor. The only thing holding it up right now is the joist that's underneath.
The joist and God.
Yeah, the joist and God. So we're
getting like, God, please give us time.
Indiana Mike came over and we went through what it would take to installing one, or taking the old one out and redoing it.
We're going to do it with a tankless water heater.
After talking to him, I decided I need to have a professional do it because there's going to be some gas line work, and there's the tankless heater we got uses a special stainless steel coupling that comes out of it. So I've got to do that. I've got to get him in there.
So Susie, she said, okay, it's not as sweet as regular pumpkin pie. Well, even better. Now I'm really down for it. I always think I love pumpkin pie, but I can only have a little sliver because it's so sweet. So I would be game for that. And molasses to me seems sweet, but I don't know.
She says if he ever gets his freedom back, he's buying one of those 18-inch wide nut gatherers, green with fingers, and a basket. Collect the pounds of acorns.
Yeah.
We've
got one. You can get them at Lowe's or Home Depot.
The nut ball doesn't work very well, though.
You got to know how to work it.
Okay.
So, and then the kids have been using it, so maybe that's part of it. But
yeah, Randy, we had one at the old house. They're so much better, and they're more economical. You don't use nearly as much.
And
propane.
Instant heat. You're not sitting there wasting water. And that's the thing. If we go to the well, I don't want to be wasting water when I want hot water. Right. I want it on demand. And so we had that Pleasant Hill. I was spoiled. I bought one for here. We just never got it installed because we knew we needed to do the flooring and get all that done. But now, again, you're homesteading, farming, all of that. Plans change. And the homestead, the farm, the home tells you what is most important. And so now we're getting it done.
Hey, Mrs. Hacks, are you still in the chat? Give me a thumbs up if you're in the chat, and I'll tell you about the apple cider wine.
Oh yeah, you better tell her about it. I think it's fine. I just think it needs to be back sweetened a little bit. I didn't taste it yet. He says it's a little yeasty.
I need to have her in because I don't want to repeat it this weekend.
Okay.
So, but anyway, the other thing that I'm doing project wise is I've been working on the book Something Fierce for the past week. Getting up early. I'm in fact, this morning is the first morning I didn't work on the book for about an hour.
But how are we going with the pictures?
I'm still working on it.
She's still in here.
Okay, hang tight, Miss Sachs. We'll get through the book update, and I'll tell you about the apple cider wine. I'm to the point now. I've got somebody that's going to read it and give me edits for content and flow.
That knows what they're doing.
Is very knowledgeable on prepper stuff for the one I want them to read.
Oh, the other one.
Yeah, the other one. Yeah, so I'm gonna have him read it and give me feedback on it. I've been looking at copyright and how you get an ISBN. ISBNs are actually more costly than the copyright. You get 10 ISBNs, which are the book numbers, so you can sell it on different platforms.
Okay.
Each format has to have a different ISBN. It's like $265 for 10 of them.
I mean,
yeah. And then but copyright's $65. Okay, Len says he just saw the email. He'll get back. I had got some questions from Len because he's the only person I know
that is successfully
That-
published,
that
been
is
on the
a- yeah,
bestseller.
that published and
Yeah.
has been through the experience. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna tap him and see what he has to say, what little tidbits of knowledge he can share with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're moving forward. I'm thinking about marketing of it, but I've worked on all three of them.
Okay.
All three of them. I've got one more that's not being worked on because I have to finish the first volume before I start on the second volume.
Maybe
So-
you can like take some after you get those finished, take some time and you can be my ghostwriter for the cookbook.
Well, maybe I'll start on that too.
Nice.
Yeah, experts always more important.
Yeah.
Um,
So now get back to Patty real quick before you
Okay.
move on.
the app. So Mrs. Hacks gave me all the leftover cider. I told you guys about this.
He drank a lot of it. So
I
there's
only
that.
drank 1 gallon of it because I can only do 5 gallons at a time. There's 3 more gallons out there.
Are they still good?
Yeah, they're still good. There's some in
Okay.
the refrigerator. It's been in there. I'm sorry. There's 2 more gallons out there. There's one in the refrigerator. Anyway, so I changed it from one container to the other, and I tasted it. First, I took an alcohol reading. It's sitting at about 7 to 8%.
Which
Ish.
I think is high.
And
He
I
doesn't think it's enough.
I drank some. No, for wine, that wine's usually about 12%.
Is it?
Yeah, 12 to 15%.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Let me give you a free ISBN if you publish with them.
oh.
Okay, I'll take that into
Nice.
consideration. But I had to put a second thing of yeast in it because I don't think my champagne yeast was any good. It never started fermenting, so I had to use a. It's not necessarily a beer yeast, but it's one I was going to use for my beer. And the reason why it's only 8% is because the alcohol content gets so high that it kills the yeast.
Oh.
So, and it's got, I think because I had put the other yeast in it, it's got that little yeasty taste. I can get rid of that.
How do you do that? Back sweeten it or
No, I've got to aerate it. I've got to let it off gas.
Oh, okay.
So I take it into another decanter. I'm going to let it sit for about a week. And then I'm going to throw a clarifier in it, which will cause all the particulate to fall out. Just like that. It's exactly what it's going to do.
Okay.
Anyway, and once I do that, then I'll go in about once every 3 or 4 days and I'll aerate it and I'll get the off gas, all that stuff. The problem with it, and I don't know if it's what I did or if it's just the nature of the beast. So the apple cider had cinnamon and other flavors in it. All that fell out. So it literally tastes like watered down apple juice right now.
I know why. The cinnamon.
Yeah, the cinnamon fell out.
The cinnamon. What is cinnamon?
No idea.
Yeah, so cinnamon is actually it's an anti-inflammatory. So the cinnamon would have been fighting the yeast.
You think so?
Yes.
Well, it didn't fight it too well because I'm telling you.
But I mean, that's why maybe you're only at the 8%. Maybe that's why, all of that. But I could definitely see that happening. I'm just trying to think.
That could be. Well, and all the cinnamon, all the particulates would have settled out over the course of the 3 weeks I had it sitting, and before I added the second one.
Isn't cinnamon also a blood thinner? So it would thin. There would be something in there that
No,
would
I
thin it
don't think
out
that would hurt the
and
yeast.
separate
The
it.
cinnamon's an antibacterial, and yeast isn't a bacteria.
It is a bacteria.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. All I know is it's 8%, and if you do if you back sweeten it with a little bit of apple
Is that
cider,
what that is?
yeah.
Let me taste that.
I put 1
It
cup.
doesn't smell bad.
I put 1 cup of the wine in there, and then about half a cup of cider.
It's very cinnamony. It's not
That's-
terrible.
The cinnamon you taste is from the cider that I back sweetened. I back sweetened
Okay.
with.
I mean, it's not terrible.
No, but
It's more of a dry wine.
it's gonna be better.
It's not terrible.
So, Mrs. Hacks, it's gonna work out. Last time I told her, I said I didn't think it was gonna work out. So I'm
You
gonna
think
be.
now it's gonna work
I will
out?
be able to salvage it,
Okay.
and it will taste like apples with lots of alcohol. in
It's
it.
very cinnamony. I've had some really weird stuff today.
Yeah, she brought home a chocolate chip pepper cookie.
Pepper cookie.
It was actually pretty good. The chocolate and the pepper actually was pretty good.
Gotta love the holidays. I'm either gonna experiment with a lot of different culture foods, or gain 1,000,000 pounds. We'll see what it looks like by New Year's. But luckily that one had pepper in it. All the regular chocolate chip cookies were gone by the time I got there. So thank God. And then so I tried that one because my boss was like, gotta try it. There's a little spice to it. They're spicy. You could tolerate it.
It was good. It was good.
It's actually pretty good.
The chocolate
But you can't eat two.
The
You
chocolate
can only
was,
eat one.
The chocolate was sweet and it had a nice burn on the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy, I recommend. In fact, every guy in the chat should learn how to make their own beer, should learn how to make wine, and should learn how to distill stuff. It's all relatively inexpensive to get into. Once you get past the upfront costs, you're not paying a lot on the back end because you've got all the equipment. I think, oh man, maybe $300 worth of equipment tied up in everything.
Well, it's depending on how far you go.
Well,
with it.
if you want to start doing a little more,
those stills are expensive.
You buy the hydrometer. Yeah, I paid $150 for it.
No, I mean there's some really high dollar.
Oh yeah,
stills.
once we
have a separate building, that's what will go in.
I'm going to make it small so they can't tax me on it.
And put it on skids.
Yeah.
Wheels. It's got to go on a trailer. It's got to be on wheels.
Yeah.
It has to be movable.
Oh, there's a
long story to that.
Yeah, there's a long story there. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's probably going to be about 3 or 4 months before it's ready though. You think? Tell me, in the chat, do you guys think I should carbonate it?
No, I wouldn't.
So no carbon active?
No, I wouldn't. That's pretty good. I
Is
wouldn't.
it?
I mean, it's up to Mrs. Sachs, but I wouldn't. And I'm almost saying you just back sweeten it with the cider itself. And
I'm not going to back sweeten it with the cider. I think I'm just going to use regular apple juice.
I don't know. I kind of
You
like
like
that
that?
with the cinnamon note. It's growing on me.
I don't know. I don't know if that cider will last that long out there.
Well, I mean,
We might have to make some more cider.
we know several people. Hacks have apple trees. We have apple trees. Not like we can't do it again next year. And it would make for some fun girls' days.
No
Mrs. Hacks.
carbonation. Okay, no carbonation.
Yeah.
For wine, no. Doing the L beer style, maybe, yeah. Okay, I was just thinking it'd be like a fizzy wine drink.
Now, the only thing I worry about that, though, Mrs. Hacks, it tastes like a wine cooler.
Does it?
Yeah, I'm worried about that. That could be dangerous.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it's like a wine cooler. It's easy. It's easy to drink. It's not terrible. So I could see that being you'd have to ration it, and the person getting a bottle or a drink would have to know ration it.
Why are you worried? Don't mind other people's business. If they want to drink it all, they can drink it.
Mrs. Hacks like a wine cooler. Tastes like a wine cooler.
Is it real? I don't think it tastes like a wine cooler.
Tastes like a wine cooler.
Of course, I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably when I make my own wine, I'm probably really super picky about it.
I mean, I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm saying it's easy to drink.
Yeah, it's gonna get better. So okay, I'm gonna chalk it up as a win. Chalk it up as a win. Let's see here. So anything funny happened this week? Oh yes, something funny happened. The turkeys. There's a group of turkeys that refuse to get into the coop. It's absolutely refuse.
They didn't have a problem tonight, I noticed.
Although when it was raining yesterday, Turk was like, I'm going in the coop. But they've been roosting up in the trees. And
on the chicken coop roof.
Yeah, well, they've been roosting on the roof for since the midsummer.
Mm-hmm.
But they've graduated. Some of them graduated up in the trees. They jump out of that tree in the morning and they hit the roof, and it's a tin roof on top of ice, and it goes dunk, and it's loud as can be. In fact, I was in here this morning and I heard him get out of the tree all the way in here because it was so loud. Yeah, so it's amazing. They were up there when the wind was blowing yesterday and it was raining. So I need to go out after we're done and get the.
So not all the turkeys are on the roof, so they're in the trees, is what you're telling me?
There's like 4 of them that are roosting.
No,
in the
I
tree.
figured the wind was blowing so hard they were all like, screw this, and went into the chicken coop.
I don't know. Maybe tonight they did. I got to check on them.
Yeah.
When we're done. So that's about. Do you got anything else for the homestead update? Just going to see the grandkids this week. We saw them this weekend, and that was fun. Although
we traded a dozen tamales for a dozen
meat pies,
Indian bread meat pies, and so got those in tonight.
Found out that we got a baker's dozen because I was like I brought that home and there was only 11 in there.
He was trying to throw Cheryl Bear under the bus, like she didn't come through.
Yeah, no, I had one for lunch. They're extremely good. You talk about rationing; those have to.
Those have to be rationed. But
Yeah.
She's a good cook too. Man,
Yeah.
She's going to teach me how to make Indian bread someday, and she's good at it. She makes a lot.
Gregory says they need to make. Pronounce that Lubachin. Not sure what that is.
So it will be good for Christmas.
So it's something that has to sit. So I'm going to say it's alcohol. Oh, I know what we forgot to mention, that you're preserving and stuff. What else did you put in jars?
Wait, what?
What else did you put in jars? You made 2.5 gallons of apple pie filling. What else did you make?
Did I do more?
What did you start making when you made the apple pies? Apple pie filling. There's a big jar right there.
Big jar.
Right there next to your Diet Coke.
Oh, apple cider vinegar.
Christmas.
Wait, what did I do?
She started 2.5 gallons of apple cider vinegar. Or no, 1.75 gallons. I'm looking forward to that because that's some good stuff right there.
I gotta get it in the pantry though, so I need to get that emptied out. I have to move each cabinet 4 inches each way. Put the table that we had the old TV on needs to go in. That gives me more storage in the kitchen. It's going to look a little bit nicer, and that will help me. I can move some stuff from the cabinets over to that for storage, and then finally put my apple cider vinegar, anything that needs to sit in the dark properly, in shelving that is actually in the dark.
Okay.
So I will get that done.
We'll do that this weekend.
Well, I'd like to get it done before Fee cleans, but it's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be the weekend.
Lynn says that you're getting CRS and he's suffering the same thing. That's called being old. That's OLD, not CRS. It's
you know
OLD.
what? It's like I literally, when I walk in here and I'm on these videos, I'm lucky that I have 5 minutes to myself before I am on camera. And so I'm rushing. I got to get my hat on. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Do you need a potty break? Get that done. Change into your slippers, get that done. Do you need something to eat real quick? Get that done. Do you that kind of thing. And so I've got that. And so it's hard for me to switch automatically from work to video, and then from work to video, then from video, I've got to go back to home and figure out what I did, and my brain's just not there yet. Yeah. Does that make sense?
No, perfect.
So,
well, if you don't have anything else on the updates, we can move on to the chat portion of it.
The chat portion? Are you doing like politics? So do I need to step away?
No, you can stay.
Well, I mean, I could go make apple pies and cheesecake too. So
you gotta let me go through my presentation. It's not a presentation. I've got notes tonight, guys.
He's got bullet points.
I've got bullet points.
So if Uncle Ron is watching or my dad is watching, my dad could possibly put my Uncle Ron towards this, and now my Uncle Ron will realize that there's not a gun for bullet points, that he was looking for the gun he needed for bullet points.
Oh.
And so for grandma's funeral, and so now he'll realize
Dorks.
that it's literally just something that you put on a piece of paper.
Okay, Randy's got to go. Hey, no problem, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yeah. It's like, what kind of gun shoots bullet points?
But you can go if you want. You can stay.
How deep are you getting?
I'm getting pretty deep.
I'm going to go ahead
Okay.
and clean up a little bit. Are there dishes in the sink? I'll get those washed and then possibly get dishes put away. So hopefully I don't make too much noise for you guys.
Well,
I'll
you
try
guys
to be
are
as quiet as
going to
possible.
find out if my dishwasher makes noises or not.
I make noises. All right. Night, guys.
What was the one you made last night?
Damn it! Yeah, I forgot that I had so many dishes in the sink and I had just gotten home from work. And I had a whole list of things. I was supposed to process apples. So I was going to process apples while I was canning the apple pie filling. And then when I looked at my sink, I had totally forgotten that I did not get to those dishes because I was going to do it in the morning before I went to work. That didn't happen. I was running a little bit late, totally spaced that my sink was even full. I get home and I'm like, I hate when that happens. And I was just like, and
I was so tired. Yes, I got home. It was raining, and I'm
not blaming you.
Oh no, I sat
knew
down.
I needed to get it done.
I sat down for a 5-minute rest, and I woke up an hour and a half later.
So he's sleeping. My sink is full of dishes, but it's not his fault. I had planned on getting them yesterday morning. It just didn't happen. And so because I had a whole plan what I was going to do. So my whole evening was shot. I still got everything canned though. So that's good. It was just like, obviously the apples weren't going to happen because I can't, this staying up till 1-2 o'clock in the morning. I finally aged out. There's a lot
of aging out going on around here recently, isn't there?
I don't have it anymore. So anyway, if I find myself going to sleep earlier and waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning going, why can't I fall back asleep? Karen was like shocked. He's like, a couple times he's been like, are you just not going to bed? And I'm like, no, I'm just not waking up. And so he's like, what? Turn everything off, blue lights. That's why you can't sleep. And I'm like, has nothing to do with that. If I turn everything off,
she leaves the TV on.
But I need the noise. Like I
then get a white noise generator.
So actually, that doesn't work.
You need a green noise generator.
I need something because something's not. But ever since I was a kid, ask my dad. Ever since I was a kid, I had the little black and white TV in my room because I just slept better. I wasn't up walking around, that kind of thing. No TV. No, if I don't have sound, then next thing you know, I'm sleepwalking. All kinds of weird stuff is happening, weird dreams, that kind of thing. Nobody ain't got time for that. So anyway, y'all, it was good seeing you. And so you guys be at least 10% better tomorrow than you were today. And everybody have a blessed and happy Thanksgiving. Embrace your family. Be happy. And just really enjoy the holidays. Bye.
I should have made a list of talking points for your liberal relatives, just so you could have fun with them. I mean, isn't that what the holidays is for? Is to have fun with your relatives.
We don't have any liberal relatives that we're going to be with on Thanksgiving.
Last time I did talking points with or how do I put this? I got kicked out of a house. Let's just put it that way. So it can backfire on you, even if you're right.
Stop it.
All right. So we got some things I want to talk about this week. Found a couple of things I want to share with you, and just some developments in our country. So I found there's a guy, Roger Scruton, Scruton, S-C-R-U-T-O-N. He wrote Modern Philosophy, an Introduction to Survey. And I found a quote by him, and I love this. And it goes like this. It says, a writer who says that there are no truths, or that all truth is merely relative, is asking you not to believe him. So don't. I was like, yes, that is perfect. And I wish I would have thought of that, because I'm a firm believer. There's your truth, there's my truth, and then there's the truth. And the only thing that matters in our life is the objective truth of things. And anybody that argues that all truth is relative, Nietzsche did that, and who was the other one? There's another philosopher from the 1800s and 1900s that did that. If all truth is relative, then why should I listen to you? because your version of the truth is no better than my version or somebody else's version. So I'm just not going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to the guy that's talking about the truth. So, and I say it all the time, man, try to align your truth with what the objective truth is, whether you like it, like what that truth is or not. Okay. The next one, and you guys that live up, is there anybody in here that lives in Minnesota? Are there any Minnesotans in here? I don't think there's. I don't think. Have we ran across anybody that's from Minnesota in our chat? Michigan, and Wisconsin, but I don't think there's any Minnesotans. Anyway, actually, before we get there, there's another one I want to talk about. So did you guys catch the Democrats that got up and started telling troops they didn't have to obey unlawful orders? So there were 6 Democrat lawmakers who have military and intelligence backgrounds called on U.S. military personnel to refuse illegal orders this month. The lawmakers included Mark Kelly and Elisa Slotkin, and stated the service members had no obligation or had an obligation to refuse orders that violated the law or the Constitution. Their message has since sparked an investigation by the Department of Defense and strong criticism from President Trump, who called their actions seditious behavior. Okay, now why is this story important? I was thinking about this. And you know, it's really easy to look at it and say that's wrong, but why is it wrong? So here's why it's wrong. So when you have political actors with a track record of trying to undermine the commander-in-chief, i.e. the entire Democrat Party, and they urge service members to be ready to refuse unlawful orders without providing any examples, the implications are severe. They politicized the chain of command that underlined lawful authority. They encouraged selective obedience, and they erode the apolitical nature of the military. They create a false impression of a constitutional crisis, which is exactly what they meant to do, potentially fostering insubordination or mutiny. Very likely, because there's stupid 18, 19-year-olds that the entire military is not conservative, and there will be people out there that refuse to obey lawful orders because of this crap. It's going to happen. And what's worse, this is the worst part. This is the part that I could not put my finger on until I started digging into it and I started really thinking about it. They position themselves as an alternative authority over the armed forces. Think about that for a second. They position themselves as authorities over the armed forces. All these things put together destabilize the civilian military relations and threaten the democratic norms of the military and civilians running the military. This is bad. You know, it's one thing. It's one thing for people just saying it, but it's another thing to make a video and having them all get on there. You know, and they're feigning ignorance and they're saying they didn't do anything wrong. And here's the problem. This is what gets me. This is something we need to stop. The reason why they continually do this stupid stuff is because they get away with it and there are no repercussions. All right? And I don't care personally. I don't care if it creates a firestorm and the liberals get even more upset. I don't understand how they could get more upset, but even if they get more upset, I think the Department of Defense or Department of War, or whatever it's called now, should hammer these people, especially if they're still on active or reserve service. They should be hammered with a great big 25-pound sledge.
Well, did you see what who's the new general in charge?
Hey, Seth?
Did you see what he said to the one guy?
Yeah.
Told him that he gets recalled. His first line of duty is showing up for a uniform inspection because he didn't even have his rodent sprayers.
So I guess Higgs has called one of them out for having
His ribbons
his,
were literally upside down and backwards.
his ribbons on properly, his things. Okay, wait, what? Wait, are the orders lawful or unlawful? Think they said unlawful, which is right. People are likely twisting it to say they said lawful. No, they said unlawful. If that was the way I made it sound, no, it's not the way it is. They said unlawful orders, and that yes, that is a true statement. But taken in context and taking the Democrats and liberals past actions, this is right in line with harmful obedience. All right, they did it for a reason. They didn't do it because there were unlawful orders out there. They did it because they're trying to undermine Trump's authority, which anybody that's been in the military can understand how bad that is and why that's a bad precedent. And if they get away with it, it's only going to encourage more. Can they call them back to active and then prosecute? Only if they are still in the IRR. I think most of them are probably past the median age that you can be called back. And I wouldn't call them back. I would figure something out. No, the first thing I would do if I was Trump was I would cancel any top secret clearances they had or any secret clearances. Make it so and as members of Congress, that would cut them out of a lot of stuff that they could do. But that's just me. Okay, they have yet to be able to specify a single order given which they believe is unlawful. When pressed, they go back to World War II, Nuremberg. What about Nuremberg code regarding medical experiments? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Lynn says Kelly is vulnerable. He can be called back. Okay. Yeah, and to what was the other the one? I think it was Lee Slotkin made the comment. Some reporter was pressing her, and she mentioned Nuremberg and A Few Good Men. So the Democrats are literally using movies as examples of how we should behave. I'm sorry, I'm not putting my moral and ethical compass in any movie. I don't care how much I like it. I'm not going to do it. Plain and simple. All right. Okay, the next one. This comes from the "you can't make this stuff up" department. The Dems, after release of the Epstein files, the Dems are literally defending taking money, political advice, and dating advice from Jeffrey Epstein after he was charged and convicted back in 2011. Literally, you've got members of Congress that took money from him, and not the Jeffrey Epstein who's a doctor in upstate New York, like Jasmine Crockett said, one of the dumbest people in Congress. She's got to be one of the stupidest people in Congress. I don't care if she is an educated black woman. She's one of the dumbest people in Congress. But not that Jeffrey Epstein, but from the Jeffrey Epstein of the Epstein Island and everything. They're taking political advice. The representative from one of the territories, Virgin Islands. She was getting political advice from him during a congressional hearing. Literally texting, getting political advice from him. He's telling her what to say and what to do. And then dating advice. I don't remember who it was. One of them, I really wish I had written down who it was. But one of them was asking dating advice from him. Yeah, I'm sorry. The child sex trafficker is not the guy I'm going to ask dating advice for. Every single one of these people should be drummed out of Congress by their constituents, but they won't be. They won't be. And again, they behave like this and they get away with it with no repercussions. The people in their districts literally don't care. They either don't care or they see absolutely nothing wrong with that type of behavior. All right, now let's get to the let's get to the Minnesota thing. Let's be 100% clear on what I'm going to talk about. I am flat out talking about a foreign invasion here. All right. So I found a story today that it was in Minnesota. There's a local sheriff that sparked outrage after addressing Somalis, Somali-speaking officers and community members by calling Americans, quote unquote, foreigners in Somali. Didn't do it in English. He did it in Somali so that the English speakers couldn't understand it, while implying that the real ownership of certain neighborhoods no longer belong to the long-established residents. His remarks fed into the growing sense that Somali political and cultural networks in the state are not merely immigrant communities, but parallel power structures that often operate with their own rules, loyalties, and language. So, at the same time, the Department of Justice fraud investigation into massive federal aid within the Somali nonprofit community and community assistant networks added serious weight to the idea that something deeper is happening. Billions of federal dollars flowed into these organizations with little oversight and investigation, uncovered schemes uncovered schemes that funneled money back into tightly knit clan-based groups, sometimes even overseas. Taken together, the sheriff's comments and the federal fraud probe paint a larger picture that portions of Minnesota's political and civic landscape are shifting under pressure from organized, well-coordinated ethnic networks that do not see themselves assimilating into America. Oh, helps if I don't shrink what I'm reading. But they're replacing and governing parts of it in their own terms. The sheriff's choice to speak in Somali to Somali officers while labeling American counterparts as outsiders symbolizes a much broader reality that authority, identity, and allegiance in parts of Minnesota have quietly been replaced without the consent of the people being displaced. Again, this is a foreign invasion, and it's not only happening in Minnesota. If you look in New Hampshire and Maine, up in upper part of New England, same things happening there. They're Somalis. Same things happen in New York City. The whole reason why Mondani was elected as mayor of New York was not because the native New Yorkers voted for him. It's because all the foreign-born immigrants voted for him. And I'm going to say this, they need to go back and they need to take a really good look at the voting there, because I guarantee you there was illegals voting there, and people looked the other way. And remember that a lot of these people, the first thing the Muslims did in New York was take over Times Square for a public prayer meeting, and just keep this in mind. Islam does not assimilate. When it enters a country and reaches plurality, there are three choices for non-Muslims. You either convert, pay jizya, which is the tax for the non-believer, or die. Those are the three options. All right. We've seen it repeated time and time again, and whether you like it or not, it's come to America. All right. So keep that in mind. And if you live near these places, you need to prepare accordingly. I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay. Hey, Anti. Oh, take that off there. Okay. Now I talked about some bad stuff, some stuff that irritates me and everything, or irritated me. Now we're going to talk about some good stuff. The EPA announced new Waters of the United States rules. The EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin announced a new proposed rule to define waters of the United States. It was more than just a bureaucratic adjustment. For people who work the land, farmers, ranchers, homesteaders, and rural property owners, the definition of the waters of the United States, or WOTUS, shapes everyday life in a way most urban Americans never notice. A clear and stable definition could bring long-needed clarity after a decade of whiplash where every new administration reinterpreted what counted as federal waters. If you guys remember, at one time, a puddle on your property could invoke the WOTUS rules. All right. Zelda's proposal aims to settle the question with something durable and common sense. Common sense coming from the government, it's kind of hit or miss, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. But the impact will depend entirely on how broad or narrow the definition ultimately becomes. If the rule expands federal jurisdiction, which I highly doubt, this all came from by the way, came from an article on American Stewards of Liberty. Okay, so you can go to their website and read the article. This is just a summation of it. All right. So if the rule expands federal jurisdiction, more ponds, wetlands, seasonal streams, and low-lying areas could fall under EPA authority. That would mean more permits, more inspections, and more limitations on what landowners or what improvements the landowner can make. Digging a new pond, cleaning a drainage ditch, or rerouting water on a farm could suddenly require federal paperwork. Something rural communities have long viewed as intrusive and disconnected from the realities of the working land. On the other hand, a narrower definition would pull federal government back, leaving more control to the states and giving landowners greater freedom to manage the water features without federal oversight. The environmental stakes are real as well. A broader definition could strengthen protections for wetlands, headwaters, and wildlife habitats, helping preserve water quality and ecological resilience. A narrow one could reduce those protections, but would remove a major regulatory burdens on small landowners who already struggle with compliance costs. And we're gonna talk about why this is important to me, why that little section right there is important to me. Okay, I got to get through the summation. So beyond the environmental debate, the political and legal storm brewing behind this announcement is almost inevitable. WOTUS has been fought over in courts and Congress for years, and any new definition is likely to trigger another round of lawsuits from whichever side feels disadvantaged. For rural communities, the uncertainty itself is often the biggest hardship. The rules can change faster than the seasons, and long-term planning becomes a gamble. For preppers, homesteaders, and anyone building long-term self-sufficient or self-reliance, the message is simple. Pay attention. Let me say that again. Pay attention. A seemingly dry regulatory definition can determine whether you need federal permission to maintain a pond, move soil, improve your drainage, or expand your garden or livestock area. In the world of preparedness, water is life, and whoever gets to define it holds surprising power. Let's see. HG says, to me, WOTUS should be at most commercially all year navigable. Okay. To me, WOTUS should be at most commercially all year navigable waters for freight. Basically large rivers and lakes with commercial freight traffic. Well, no, it's not that. It's not that I couldn't read it. It's just it was worded. The words weren't working in my brain.
Gotcha.
She threw my glasses at me.
Words.
That's a good start, HG. I would say it could go maybe a little bit smaller. I don't know. You'd have to argue it really well for me to go smaller. As far as I'm concerned, if it's interstate commerce, they can regulate it. But the creek we got running behind our house, yeah, there's no interstate commerce there.
We have water rights.
And I think anything that they can do interstate commerce on falls within what you're saying. So put a link. Now I need my glasses. Oh, American Stewards. Yeah. Yes, they do have some very interesting stuff. We got turned on to them because they were covering the 30 by 30 land grabs that they were doing. And and they want to tell us how to do it. And the same people that used the waters of the United States as a bludgeon against small landowners are the same people that are in cahoots with the world leaders and climate experts who flew to Brazil in fleets of private jets. And let's be honest, private jets are one of the most carbon intensive ways to travel out of everything. And then they lecture ordinary people about cutting back their lifestyles to quote unquote save the planet, right? Their actions highlight a clear hypocrisy. I mean, the elites demand sacrifice from the public while refusing to apply those same standards to themselves. No, thank you. Okay, right. River traffic, barges, and not one-man fishing boats or pleasure boats. Dealing with the NRCS and Army Corps are impossible to deal with. Yes, they can be a pain in the ass. BLM, the Bureau of Land Management, falls in the same boat when it comes to dealing with land too. I hope I never have to deal with them. Okay. Now, remember I said we were gonna talk about saving the planet. Okay. There's another article on American stewards, and if I could ever. Okay, hang on a second. There we go. I think I got it. Nope, I didn't. Anyway, there's another article on American stewards. Does the Bible direct Christians to save the planet? And this is a really good article. The author, she did a really good job, and I'm going to point out some of the main points here because I think what she put was spot on. Go read it if you want to, but this is the cliff notes. Okay. So the author contended that the Bible does not explicitly command Christians to save the earth or to protect creation in the modern environmental sense. It's true. It doesn't say that. Instead, the author says that Scripture gives mankind mandates such as multiply, fill, and subdue the land, and to work with it and watch over it. These are the commandments of stewardship, responsible management of God's creation. All right, that's what we're called to do. We're called to be good stewards, and that's we're supposed to do that rather than to look at a mandate to save the planet. All right, and understanding the difference helps clarify the distinction between biblical conservatism and contemporary environmental conservation. They're two totally separate things. All right. The article contrasts biblical language with modern environmental agendas. For example, the 30-30 goal to protect 30% of the land and sea by 2030, and argues that those modern agendas assume domination and it must be curtailed. Those agendas need to be curtailed. All right. So that's what it's about. It's about domination, control. The article further argues that climate environmental threats, such as warnings about human-caused emissions, are based on projections and activism rather than what the author considers solid, observable data, and that the Bible teaches God, not humanity, is in control of the weather and creation. And that's absolutely correct. I mean, think about the hockey stick, the climate change hockey stick graph. That was completely fabricated. All right. Not only do they get it wrong, they'll lie about it. It's basically the gist there. So the author warns that suggesting humans must save the planet implies God needs our help to protect his creation, which the piece considers prideful and a misalignment with biblical teachings. And she cites Job 38 through 41 and Acts 17, 24 and 25. Yeah, I'm going to say that again. They're saying that God needs our help. All right. The humans have been really good at harming the planet, not so good at at actually helping it, right? Or I'm not helping it, but healing it, right? And there's there's the difference between modern conservation and biblical conservatism. All right. Lynn wants to know, save it from what? We couldn't kill it if we tried really hard. Geologically, we're not even noticeable. Much worse has happened to the planet than anything we can do. Absolutely. Absolutely. More CO2 was dumped into the atmosphere by the eruption of Mount Pinatubo back in the 90s than the entire time since the industrial age started. Think about that. In the matter of weeks, more was dumped in, and that happens multiple times a year. All right. So the conclusion emphasizes obedience to God's commandments rather than adoption of secular environmentalist paradigms, and urges discernment for Christians encountering messages about saving the earth. Listen, I'm going to say it flat out. If you go to church and they tell you that illegal immigration is fine, and they say that the church has the responsibility to quote unquote save the planet, you need to walk away. You need to call them out, and then you need to walk away from the church, and you need to find a church that is teaching you biblical things. All right. They should be teaching us about stewardship and not modern conservation, which is basically left-wing politics wrapped up in a greenery. All right. So the key takeaways. These are things that matter to us specifically about this. For a homesteader or anyone running a rural property, the article suggests your biblical responsibility is stewardship, working, watching over, and managing the land. Sounds kind of familiar. Sounds kind of like the ethos of permaculture, doesn't it? Rather than engaging in environmental activism aimed primarily at saving the planet, quote unquote. It frames the environmental movement's broader goals, for example, limiting human use of land and resources, as a departure from biblical mandates rather than a continuation of them. It invites a worldview. It invites a worldview where human use and management of land is legitimate so long as it aligns with obedience to God, not driven by fear-based or political environmental agendas. So I'm going to say that again, so nobody misunderstands me. This looking at it from a biblical stewardship point of view rather than the modern conservation view creates a worldview where humans are meant to use the land and manage it in a legitimate manner. And when I say legitimate manner, I mean it's the opportunity is given to us by God, and there are ways we should do it. All right. Shouldn't be doing it because some political agenda. Hey, Tiger. Glad you could make it. You missed all the fun, though. In fact, we're almost to the end. Think about that, and if you run across it, run from it. All right. One more thing before we go. I found this very interesting. Musk came out and dropped the bomb, and he said that there's a huge community on X of foreigners who are manipulating American politics. And I don't know if you guys knew this. They made changes on X so that the origin of the account is shown. All these MAGA movement and anti-Trump people, there's a whole slew of them. Come to find out, they're based in foreign countries. They're actually foreigners, and they're manipulating us. And we talked about Chase Hughes, the Chase Hughes video that I posted last week, and how we're being manipulated. All right. So here's what I want you to do. Here's a call to action for you guys tonight. All right. This is what I want you to do. I want you to start it next week, and we're gonna hopefully I remember it. And actually, I'm going to remember it because I've got my notes now. But we'll talk about it, and we'll see what you guys came up with. But when you read an article, you watch a video, or you hear something on the radio, and you react in an emotional manner, right? Ask yourself two questions. Number one, why am I feeling this way? And number two, who benefits from me reacting this way? Okay. This check will keep you grounded and guard against manipulations. I started doing it, actually started doing it several months ago when I made the propaganda videos. But yeah, it does. It makes a huge difference. Invasion comes in many forms. Yeah, the DHS account, that one, again, manipulation by foreigners. Take that one for how you want. I probably need to dig more into that before I make a comment on it. All right. So there we go, guys. That's all I've got for you tonight. You guys got any last thoughts, any last comments? I'll hang on for a second. I know there's a delay. Yeah, if you guys got anything you want to share with the group or have any questions, go ahead and ask them now while we're wrapping up. As a reminder, let's see here. Let's go. Yeah. As a reminder, if you go to our Grumpy Acre store, Amazon, on Amazon, we've got links there that you can see what we use here and see what you think about it. If it's something you want. Here's one thing I will say about the Grumpy Acres Farm Store. There's a lot of stuff on there that's made in China. The kennel that we showed you is made in China. And I've been trying really hard to not buy Chinese, and it's damn near impossible. Hopefully that gets better with people moving back or businesses move back to the United States, but I'm not sure. Take it for what it's worth. All right. If you guys don't want it, if you don't want to use it, that's fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. But it's all stuff that we use or we want to use. Either we use it or we want to use it. Feel free to use it as you see fit. Affiliate links down below. Go hit those. You guys probably the WRL cards. Probably ought to go help buy some WRL cards. Use the code there, the affiliate link there. That way you can start vetting people and start building your communities. All right. Let's see here. Tiger says Anti's tough. He can handle it. Man. He's giving us homework. Oh, over the holidays, no less. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Every day when you're living a preparedness lifestyle is not only homework, it's a test. All right. Oh, thank you, Anti. Yeah, every day is not only a lesson, it's a test. All right. Listen, guys, in all seriousness, thank you for joining us. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Not only helps us, it helps everybody else that does the same thing we do, has the same message. Have a safe Thanksgiving. Have a happy Thanksgiving. If you've got liberal relatives, go ahead and tweak them. Just let them know that you're still out there and they're not, their emotions aren't safe. All right. Most importantly, when you lay your head down tonight, be sure that you're better off tonight than you were when you woke up. You still got time. You still got an hour or two. If you're in Central Standard Time, the most important time zone on the planet, you still got time to do something to make your life better tomorrow. Okay. All right, guys, take care and go live a life done free.